Hi and welcome everybody. My name is Philip Tanser and you're watching the YouTube channel of Gender Parity UK. We are an organization dedicated to highlighting discrimination against boys and men based on their gender. On this channel, we will address bias against males on a government level, social inequalities, bias in the media and in institutions. Today we would like to talk about the organization UN Women and their discrimination of equality or equality of discrimination. We've been following their Twitter feed for quite some time, and their gender-based discrimination would actually be quite amusing if they didn't inform legislation in all UN countries, and that is, quite frankly, scary. Let's have a look at their Twitter profile. Their focus is to establish a generation equal. Their profile states, UN Women is a UN entity for gender equality and women's empowerment. Join #Generation Equal for an equal future. End quote. We at Gender Parity UK hold the view that you have to look at both sides, men and women, and their struggles to create real equality. So since there is a UN Women, there must surely also be a UN Men to highlight all the areas in which men and boys struggle, like education, suicide, homelessness, workplace mortality, infant circumcision, divorce and custody bias. But to our surprise, there is no UN Man. It is almost as if equality was a one-way street for the UN. This, of course, was not surprising to us at all. The UN is fully immersed in ideologies, one of them being feminism. This is quite evident looking at these tweets. Don't be afraid to use the F word, feminism. Feminism benefits us all when we transform toxic masculinities, embrace equality and empower women to live to the fullest potential in society. Well, apparently, the homeless guy on the street does not need to be empowered by the UN and already lives to the fullest of his potential in society, right? And we also wonder where men are in generation equality when it only follows my feminist agenda. But male voices are being heard as evidence here. It's time for the rest of society to realize the value of working on issues as violence against women and girls and toxic masculinity. We especially appreciate the subtle t-shirt calling for female riots. Well, we have seen plenty of riots by feminist organizations like Black Lives Matter and Antifa recently. And yes, both organizations are self-identifying feminist organizations, with one of their aims being to smash the patriarchy, whatever that really means. We recently noticed a funny tweet on UN Women that perfectly encapsulates their nonsensical approach to equality. Wash your hands, be kind to those around you, resist gender stereotypes, support women and girls, rinse, repeat. UN Women don't seem to see the obvious gender stereotyping by only supporting women and girls while telling us to resist gender stereotyping. For an organization that claims to oppose gender stereotypes, they post a lot of messages that promote gender stereotypes like women are victims, men are perpetrators, women are oppressed, men are oppressors, women need help, men should help women. We find it rather patronizing and infantilizing by UN Women to command people to respect women per default in all these areas, including work, science, and politics, where respect surely should be earned and based on merit. But maybe they don't talk about earned respect, but simply about decency towards a fellow human being. But why would that be gendered? Do they really think men are being treated with more decency based on their genitalia? What a warped view of reality. Another great example for their compulsive gender stereotyping is their women most affected approach to every issue. A pandemic kills men at twice the rate as women, clearly, overwhelmingly affects women. Why? Because they have to work while men die. And the increase in domestic abuse during the pandemic affects men equally, but male victims, unlike women, have been completely and intentionally ignored by the media, by politicians, and by the UN. Not women most affected, but men most neglected. To see what people think about UN Women's approach, I would like to go back to the tweet about resisting gender stereotypes and exclusively supporting women. Let's look at some of the responses. We are glad that we are not the only ones recognizing the absolute hypocrisy and sexism in UN Women's approach. And since there is absolutely no representation for male issues in the UN, we must assume that this sexist approach is in line with the UN's overall approach. Maybe it is time to dismantle this organization and stop all funding unless they take an inclusive and non-discriminatory approach. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it informative. It would be great if you could respectfully get in contact with UN Women or the UN and share your thoughts with them. Please use arguments, lived experience, sound data, and humor. No nastiness, please. We, Gender Parity UK, try to make a difference by contacting politicians, journalists, and organizations, highlighting discrimination. But without your help, there will be no change. We need you to take action as well. You can do that by writing to your MP, newspaper, share our content on social media, and by talking about male issues with friends and family. Most of all, we would like to urge you to get in contact with us so we can create a network of people that stand for fairness and equal rights. Now please hit the like and subscribe button and add us on Twitter and Facebook. The links are below. Last but not least, we would like to thank organizations like Abused Men in Scotland, Mankind, Men and Women Working Together, Equilaw, Split the Difference, and Justice for Men and Boys, and all the other organizations that are trying to help men and boys. Thank you for watching. My name is Philip Tanzer. This was the YouTube channel of Gender Parity UK. Bye.